I'm Victoria Welton. Welcome to my conception diaries. It's a vlog I'm carrying out on a regular basis. It is today, Tuesday the 10th of November 2015. The last recording I did was on the 20th of October, so it's been a little while. As you've probably gathered, we've been through the 2-week wait. We came to the end of it during half term and I was late, and for about 2 days really was convinced we'd done it yet again, and yet again we hadn't. So the day I got my period in the evening, I was actually at my mum's. I had a bit of a cry and just got up and got on with it again, really. That's what you have to do. You've got no choice, especially when you've got Grace to think of. You don't want her to think that you're getting upset or whatever. So that was that. And then also another thing, in the last video I told you about a woman I'd had issues with last year with regards to fertility support. And since, funnily enough, the day I recorded the last vlog, she had a solicitor send me a letter who basically was going to sue me for defamation of character and also breach of client confidentiality, neither of which I feel was an issue. And if I'd been in a different place, I probably would have just said carry on, but I couldn't be dealing with the hassle, so I took the post down and removed it. And then there was a lot of back and forth from her accusing me of it still being up, and of course I had to go to my hosts, get them to remove it from the back end and all sorts. It was a right pain in the backside. Anyway, that was that really with her, although a couple of people since have said I was completely right to write it and that they were very supportive about it and they agreed with my opinion. So I'm not here to worry about anybody else. All I care about really is me and Ross and Grace and what we're doing about the situation right now. So I left it there. Since that time, last weekend we went to the Fertility Show and we had a really productive day. We went last year and we were sort of a bit all over the place last year, not really knowing what we were there to try and achieve. But this year we had a clear game plan together where we wanted to go and find egg donor companies who were going to suit us. And we arrived and went straight into a seminar, which was a Q&A session from two companies who cover egg donation. One in the US and one in Spain. It was really interesting, and Ross and I were both able to ask some questions and we found out more. And what really gave me so much comfort about all of this was when the doctor from the US was explaining that epigenetics play a part in the development of the baby when it's an egg donor or an egg donation. So what that basically means is that when you're carrying the baby, some of your genetics do infiltrate into the fetus and have a bearing on what happens. So I don't think you can imagine how that helped me feel, and also it helped Ross. Now another thing that helped Ross, and this is quite controversial, some people might not agree with it, is the fact that some countries do allow gender selection. Now I'm sort of torn about the whole thing, but Ross made a very valid point when we were there. He said that if we are paying for this out of our own money and we're doing it for ourselves and nature isn't taking control of the situation, then shouldn't we be allowed to take control of everything? So it was a really interesting point and something I really understood. So quite by chance, the country or the clinic that we're really keen on does do gender selection. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting journey if we follow that route, and I'm sure you'll learn more about it as my vlogs go on. But it's one for a major discussion, and not everybody will agree. But I do understand where Ross is coming from, and I do feel very supportive of him in all of this. So yeah, and I don't have any major opinion either way. So the country, excuse me, the country we were interested in is Cyprus, and so we're following up with loads of companies that we spoke to, not just in Cyprus but all over Europe. We decided to rule out the USA because it is too expensive. It seems like it's going to come to something like, I don't know, by the time we finish, probably £30,000 all in, with all the flights and everything else. But we did discover that the costs in Europe are not as inflammatory as we thought they were going to be. We initially prepared ourselves for around £10,000, and it's looking more likely that it's going to be around half that, maybe a bit more, with all the flight and the accommodation, but it won't be as bad as we first expected. One of the clinics also offers 3 tries and your money back. So if you're not pregnant or not successful in carrying a child full term by the 3rd treatment, then you will get a refund of the money you've paid, which again does help. So yeah, we've come away with an awful lot of information, loads of food for thought. I'm currently supposed to be in my fertile window, but according to my duo fertility, which I'm using, which I'll talk about on another video, because I'm going to give you a comparison of 2 fertility monitors that I've been using. According to that, at the moment my temperature's not rising, and I'm on day 13. So I'm just umming and ahhing as to whether or not ovulation is actually going to take place this month. I know for some women it doesn't work every month, and actually for the last 6 months I think I have, so I guess my time is due. But we'll see. I'll obviously give you an update on my next video as to where we're at in that side of things, and also let you know what sort of responses we've had from the clinics we're approaching. So yeah, it's all happening, and we're anticipating that if we're not successful by probably February now, then we'll be travelling abroad. So watch this space. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.